Ade Oladipo here with renowned trainer Dave Coldwell. Dave, this is a bit different, isn't it?
Just a little bit different. What a setting for a public workout, eh?
It is. It's amazing. You're obviously here with Hopey Price. Tough little opponent for his first fight. I mean, a winning record as well.
Yeah. We're on to his. He had a good opponent for his debut, and I want to build on that. I'm not interested in guys that are just going to tuck up, be a punch bag, where he's learning more in sparring and not being able to put it into practice in a fighting situation. But then the same thing is he's 19, so I'm not going to be putting him in any killers for a while because he's 19. I want him to develop into the pro game because it's obviously different to the amateurs. But in order to see the best of fighters, you need guys that are going to throw hands, because otherwise it's just a case of trying to break them down and trying to open up a crab. It's hard going. Whereas hopefully, as I've seen from he's got a winning record. I've seen from footage on YouTube, his opponent comes to fight and comes to win. So you should see a glimpse of Hopey's talent here on Saturday night.
Yeah, his opponent has lost his last three, but all decent level. I mean, you have a look at the record. One of them's a title fight as well. I mean, you're rolling the dice here a bit. You're taking risks, which is good.
It's not about yes, it is when you look at it in the usual way that fighters are brought along. Is that they fight strictly journeyman for 5, 6, 7, 8 fights. But I don't feel that you learn anything that way. And again, it's a gauge. I believe in Hopey's talent, and I believe when you're watching him spar, you've seen him spar, the quality he's sparring with. Took him over to LA, sparring some very good fighters out there, world level fighters, very good prospects out there. Then come over here, sparring with likes of Jordan Gill, Lee Wood, other fighters. He's sparring with good men. So then to drop him down to a level where a guy's just going to tuck up, he might as well hit a bag in my gym. And I might as well film that, and people see that on TV. You're not getting anything out of that. So it's a fight. He's used to having high level fights because of the level that he boxed at in the amateurs. So that's what he thrives on. Also gives you that bit of adrenaline where you want to go out there and perform rather than going there and just be all casual and all right, I'm just going to do this, going to do that. You need. I believe that your prospects need to be asked questions as they're developing, because the more that they're answering questions about themselves and situations, then when you do let them off the leash, they're more of a package rather than having everything their own way consistently and constantly, where they don't know anything about themselves. They get it on chin and it's like, oh, what happens here? Do you know what I mean? It's different to getting it on chin in sparring with wearing bigger gloves and an head guard to little 8-ounce gloves. But don't get me wrong, I expect Hopey to go out there and look good and do a good job on Saturday night. But like I said, opponents that are trying to win and that have got some quality about them, you can shine more.
Is it a case of, as well, with the good amateur background, you can almost jump a few as well? You don't need to start with the journeyman, the guys that have the crazy losses on their record. You can kind of jump a few levels here.
Yeah, because again, it's the levels that he's used to, and at the amateur tournaments that he's been around some good fighters, and just soaking it all up. And you look at, he won the Junior Olympics. Lomachenko won Junior Olympics. You're talking about he's boxed in good company and followed a path that good fighters have followed. So then to reset and put him in the same sort of brackets as what kids that have had an handful of amateur fights you'd put him in with, it don't really make any sense. It's just about judging it. Like I say, it's not about rushing it and putting him in with kids that he's a killer. I'm not going to do that with him yet. He's 19. He's got a lot of growing to do. Mentally and physically, and you don't want to. I'm not going to do the best way to explain it is when I spoke to Eddie Hearn about signing him, doing something with him. I said to him, "Listen, I don't want him being rushed like Olympians are rushed, and like a lot of your good amateurs are getting rushed, where 6, 7 fights are fighting for titles, are doing this, are doing that." He's 19. He's got time on his hands. So for the first year, I just want him fighting regular. Fighting against guys that are gonna come to have a go and give him a few little problems that you have to suss out, and then when he's 21, then I'll let him off a leash.
barring no injuries and performing well on Saturday, how many times do you expect him to fight in 2020? What are we looking at? 7, 8, or is it just you go with it?
Yeah, we'll go with it. We were talking about this earlier on, actually. He's one of these kids that professional fighters, especially if you go back a few years, didn't need like 12-week camps for a fight. You're getting now where you're getting, I understand that with title fights, but you're getting now where you're getting kids that are boxing 4 rounds and 6 rounds saying, oh, I need 8 weeks. No, you don't. You're a fighter, tick over, work in the gym. At this stage of your career, you should be in the gym anyway, whether you got a date or not, because you're learning to improve, you're learning to become a better fighter, learning about yourself as a fighter, adding things to your game. So if you get the call and say, are you in training? Yeah. Got a fight for you in 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You're not talking about a title fight at this level, you're talking about another fight. Well, you'd spar probably a champion in this little phase where you haven't got a fight date. You'd be sparring champions and stuff like that. So you can fight, jump into a slot on a show and get more experience and have more activity. And that's what it's about at this stage. So he's going to stay in the gym. Obviously, when we haven't got a fight date, he's not going to be smashing it. He's going to be training to learn to get better and develop as a fighter. And then if we get a call that says, listen, you've got X amount of fights left on your contract, but extra, do you want to jump in? I've had a pull out here, I've had a pull out there, do you want to jump in here, do you want to jump in there? Yeah, no problem. And that's kind of what happened with this one, because we're slated to box December 19th. I get a phone call off Freddie Earn 2 weeks ago saying, do you fancy Hopey Price boxing on an AJ belt? I'm like, what? Yeah? Yeah, all right, okay. Took about 100th of a second to answer that question. Yeah, so yeah.
Before we talk about the main event, AJ versus Ruiz, another fighter, you've got Anthony Fowler. Is he going to go straight in with the Fitzgerald? Is there a plan maybe to do a little fight in March, possibly?
Right, so what's happening is, I think Scott's wanting to have another fight, or I think he's I think he's wanting to fight in March, I think it is. We're going to fight in February. Okay. So Fowler's going to have a fight in February, another 10-rounder. And then the plan is, because you can't do a football ground, because I believe it's going to be at Deepdale. You can't do an outdoor show in February. No, yeah. You're just going to freeze. You're just going to freeze. It's not like being in Saudi Arabia. So we'll do the show in February, wherever, Liverpool, Manchester, wherever it's going to be, and then I think May, June, when the weather starts getting better, football season coming to an end or ends, then I think that'll happen. I think the Fitzgerald fight will happen.
All right, let's talk about the big one. Anthony Joshua, Andy Ruiz. Everyone has had that kind of reaction when I mention it. I feel like there's a level of excitement, obviously, but there's also a level of fear and nerves as well. Where are you? Are you excited and nervous as well?
All of that, yeah, all of that. You know what? I like AJ. And it seems that you get stick now if you say that you like Anthony Joshua.
Where's that come from?
I don't know. I think what happens is, while you're on your way up and you're looking to get to where you're at, I think people are always like, go on son, hope you do it. And I think when you've been there for a while, I think maybe when you've got nice cars and you've got nice houses and things like that, I think that's when people then start saying, you're getting too big for your boots. I keep saying where people say, oh, stay humble. Mate, when you come into money, your standard of living goes up. It's human nature. You're not going to still drive the same car as what you did when you didn't have no money. You're not going to live in the same house as what you did when you had no money. You're going to look for nicer things in life, because that's just human nature. It's what we all do. But it just seems that when you start doing that, then you start getting... But I haven't never seen Joshua throwing money about in a club and things like that.
He's never done the Broner or Maywood thing, has he?
No, he's never done anything like that. So I don't begrudge him if he's got a nice house. I've never seen pictures of his house. I wouldn't even know what his house looks like. But I imagine he's got a nice house. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But it just seems as though people kind of like, when you start being at the top for a while, I don't know. People just want to see you fall. And it just seems as though now, if you're saying, I hope AJ wins it. It's like everyone's like, you this, you that. Well, I know him. I know him to talk to, and he's always been great with me. He's been up at my gym. He's been great. When he's met my kids, he's been great. You know, we speak. He's sound with me. So I'm Team AJ, and hopefully pulls it off. It's a very tough fight. So what you're saying, you know, yeah, I'll be nervous watching it, like I am for. I've got a lot of friends in boxing that I want to do well and I want to see, you know, see win. This fight's just so big, and it's so big because of the way that he lost so big. If he lost on points, it wouldn't be as big a fight. It'd be a big fight because it's still a rematch and it's still, can he get his titles back? But it's the way that he got absolutely destroyed.
It's an understatement, isn't it?
Yeah, and so because it's such a big loss, to get back to where he was, to win a rematch, to turn it around, is such a big achievement. So all eyes on from the world are on this fight because they all want to see: is he going to get smashed again, or is he going to go out there and pull something off that's magnificent for, you know, in boxing? And I genuinely think that lessons have been learned. I like how he's changed things in his camp. I like how he's changed his attitude. He's not being all nicey and all that crap. Yeah, he's talking a little bit like how you would be if you're pissed. Because let's be real, people can say all they want when people are slagging them off, people are doubting you and stuff like that. You can say, don't affect me. But there's that part of you because you, as a fighter, as an athlete, or somebody that's in public eye, you've got that bit of ego. Everybody has. You've got a bit of an ego if you're working a 9-to-5 job because you want to be better than the next man that's on next desk to you or whatever, you know. So everybody's got a bit of an ego about them. So you've got that bit inside you, and I like seeing that when for this fight for me, he's talking like a fighter. He's not talking like a brand. He's not talking like a boxer that's just going in there to do a job. He's talking like a man that wants it. And a man.
Dave, I'm sensing from you, I'm sensing heart says AJ, head says Ruiz.
Listen, you've got to say that Ruiz is the favourite because of what happened. If you say that just because you like somebody, if you say, oh no, AJ is the favourite, then you're talking shit because what you're basing that evidence on. The evidence says Ruiz won convincingly. So going into an immediate rematch, you would say, because you've got nothing else to change your mind on, the evidence says that Ruiz is the favourite. So for me, I'll say it's about AJ pulling it off. But ask me, do I think AJ is going to pull it off? Yeah, I do. Because I think he's made the changes. I think he's got the mindset. And I think he's going to show the qualities. You don't do what he's done. People say that he's not fought anyone and stuff like that. When I hear people saying about his record, mate, look at the heavyweight division, look at who Joshua's fought. And he's doing it while he's learning on the job. So, he's got something about him that means he's a quality fighter. And the fact that he's added things to his game now, I expect him to go out there and put on the performance of his life.
There you go, Dave Coldwell there saying AJ will put on the performance of his life. If that gets him the win, we'll find out Saturday night. Dave, thanks for talking to us.
Cheers, mate. Thanks for having me.